And remember, Miguel, this race is brutal. Fucking give people space, or they will just beat you off the track.
Roger.
Okay, when I click on it on my phone, I have an echo and a delay.
Oh yeah, but you're okay. Yeah, don't do that because you're using your phone speaker.
Oh, let me stream it to the Discord for you so you see it.
But go, gang. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm in P10 though. It's pretty cool, I guess.
Out of 50, that's pretty good.
How many's in your race? I've only got 26 in mine, but
I actually don't know.
yeah.
Okay, Miguel, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you in here, and I wouldn't want to if that's okay.
Yeah, drag him out there.
Sick. We did it. How's the quality, Nick? Is it pretty laggy or what?
I can't see anymore. Where did it go?
It looks like there's a delay on my side.
I don't know where the fuck to go.
What's going on, Shannon?
I keep getting kicked out, but I don't know where to watch it. I can't see anything.
Okay. Well, Nick is supposed to share his screen here soon, but we are live on the channel, which is great. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We're doing the Road to America race tonight, so we really appreciate you guys. Is the video laggy for you, Shannon, while you're watching it?
Cannot see it.
Oh, bummer. Okay.
We'll get this sorted out by 9 o'clock.
100%. We'll get it figured out by the time the race is over. Oh, man. I don't know what Nick is doing. He just turned off my camera. I did decide to use my camera tonight, so...
I'm glad you did.
Yeah. I figured, why not?
I'll be the
We did for
headless voice.
one. But you have such a beautiful voice, so it's totally okay.
Until I start coughing.
Are you sick again? Or are you still sick, I should say?
No, not well, a little bit, but not bad. Can you hear that when I do that?
What?
That noise?
The blah.
No, the thumping?
Oh, no.
Okay, good. Oh, there's Nick.
There he is. Yes, we do need that. I'll be
Yes, sir.
Thank you. My video isn't working. Is that my issue or your?
I
Frick.
can't see anything either.
Oh my gosh, because this thing keeps popping up and I don't know what it is. Is that...
I can't see shit.
Facing camera so I can see what's going on. It keeps bringing up like a 3-second thingamajiggy. like a little video for me, and it's like 3 seconds, and there's absolutely nothing on there, and I have no idea what it is. Interesting. I don't see that. Okay, let's try this. We're just gonna go back to the OG, go iPad. We'll share it.
Good. How about yourself? Well, so if I hit watch stream, will that bring me back into that group? Oh, okay, fair. I cannot see Deetha though.
Yes. Do you want me to click on that link you... Are they still doing qualifying or are they done? Okay, so they're actually racing right now. What did Lewis qualify in?
Miguel started off in the 9th position. I didn't hear where Lewis started.
Alright, Nick, would you like to request my camera change thingy? I don't remember how we had this set up. So we're gonna play around with this for a minute. Is this good? So we're gonna do it. I love how everybody can hear us fucking around with this.
Again.
It's all just growing pains. Listen, we're new to this, we're trying it, we're getting it figured out. So appreciate the patience. There we go. Hello. It's so nice to be here.
And I am the headless voice.
Yes, Shannon. Hello.
Hello. Is Nick streaming his voice? Probably not.
I think so. Probably not. So, once again, our conversations are you and I with a little bit of information given to us.
Very little.
Yes. Okay. So, okay. Lewis, he started off in P2, correct? He was qualified. And unfortunately, he's down to P22. He had a little bit of a little wrecky wreck. It looked like somebody potentially ran into his car, which caused him to have a little bit of a burnout. Oh my goodness. Everybody's driving so close together, it makes it really difficult to pass other cars.
Oh, he moved down to 24th. The car spun out like in front of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he kind of ran off the track there for a little bit.
Your voice is freezing up.
That's not good.
Nick said he's having audio issues. Oh, Diva, did you not pay the bill this month?
The bill has been paid. Hello! Hi, Vincent.
Hello, Vincent. Is your voice being streamed as well as ours?
Probably.
Vincent, you are live. Welcome to the channel. It's awesome to have another fellow racer here in the chat.
Oh, hi.
You can educate us and give us a little insight on what's going on, because you are one.
Even though I'm actually not quite watching it. What am I missing?
Are you out grocery shopping while you're talking to us?
No, I just got.
Will you be doing some spotting for these fine
So
gentlemen?
right now,
Do they have
tonight
spotters?
we have Lewis and Miguel racing on the Road to America track.
Road America's always a fun track there.
Yes.
I actually kind of enjoy it. It's got a lot of fast straights, a lot of technical slow corners there.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're getting some practice in before the 24-hour race. Making some progress. So hopefully he can get back up to his P2 spot. That would be phenomenal. We got Miguel here in the little corner. Well, so far Lewis unfortunately got hit, which caused him to spin out, so he lost some places. And then there was another little crash ahead of him, so he had to drive a little bit off the track, which slowed him down a little bit.
Oh, I guess.
Yes.
Careless drivers.
That's usually how that works, unfortunately, as much as I hate to admit it. Honestly, with iRacing, a lot of people don't really get the feel of, well, I guess you would say fear, the feel of the fear. I tried making that sound cooler, but I'm sure that
Oh, but it sounded
came out
good.
sounding
Yeah.
too fun. Just
Right.
No, you're good.
It just got off work less than an hour ago, so I'm forget my brain shot.
Brain is shot, no worries.
Yeah, no, it's when it comes to iRacing, there's always the sense of, you know, people are trying to keep it nice and clean, but obviously being that you're not actually in the car, there's little to no risk to you at that point of the obligation for you to race it as cleanly as possible, despite the other risks of it, like say safety rating or iRating at that point. So dirty drivers are going to be all but assured in iRacing.
Yeah, but definitely happened, and we hate to see it, but I guess all that matters is how we come back from it.
Ain't that the truth?
Speaking of
Like
coming
right
back,
now.
Lewis has moved up to P21.
Correct.
We started off a little bit higher, but that wreck at the beginning kind of
Yeah, Lewis.
Looks like he's got much damage.
Lewis is great with the catching up. Some flashing the high beams.
Yeah.
Usually
Get
the flag
out of
race
the
is-
way.
Yeah, that's pretty much what the flashing is for. It's usually reserved to let the slower drivers know that hey, there's faster traffic behind. In multi-class racing, it's actually very faster cars to do that. Otherwise, typically if they're focusing on the track, they won't be able to actually see it because the way this actually should work in a normal circumstance is obviously think of it like you're sitting in your home. You're basically focusing on the road, and your peripherals are watching the mirrors for you. So if there's a flash in your mirror, then that gets your attention. That's pretty much how that's supposed to work. Not very many people very much use that common sense.
No, I think
Right.
this green car ahead of Lewis is totally not using his rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Because there's 3 cars stuck behind him.
Yeah, that Porsche is just.
And it's got
Holding up
teeth, though,
traffic.
that's pretty cool.
Oh, they're
Okay.
taking to the inside of the corner to pass him. Oh,
maybe
Lewis.
not. Okay.
That is good.
He's making
Lewis
some
is
clean
pulling a
passes
Hail
right now.
Mary. Nice.
There we go.
And it paid off.
Nice.
P19.
He just had a little bit of patience and he was able to make that pass nice and clean. So that brought him up to P19. That's what I'm talking about.
And I hope he's looking at the cars in front of him, not the ones behind him.
Yep.
Okay, that alley was very aggressive.
Yeah, he got really close on that.
Dive bomb tactic is a pretty popular one for this track, especially when drafting isn't exactly the best option. Keep in mind there's a lot of slow, square corners, so oftentimes people have to actually get on the brakes and judge their point of braking, which obviously, if you're not used to the track, is a bit of a hard thing to do. And I think I just saw Miguel had something going on with his end there. Obviously, it all becomes a question of how brave are you. Are you brave enough to get on the brakes as late as possible to navigate the corner as smoothly and as fast as possible, or are you going to basically play chicken with the driver behind and dive bomb it down?
I would go full kamikaze and probably crash. Guarantee it.
That's calling my name.
Awesome. Enjoy
Your food knows how to
enjoy your
say
dinner.
Vincent?
You get me.
Shannon, back at it. Back at it with the dad jokes.
Cook it a little longer.
Back at it with the Oh shoot, we love it. All right. So nice. What about the road racetrack map? Dude, I'm so used to Call of Duty talk. This is such a crazy change. So the Road America course is located in Wisconsin, and it is a little over a 4-mile track, so 6.5 kilometers with 14 turns. Along the front stretches, we can reach up to about 200 miles per hour. So on those straightaways, we can speed up a little bit more and try to gain a little bit of positioning and speed up those cars so that we can make some progress.
Yeah,
But,
it's
it
interesting
sounds like
about
as
this
Vincent
track.
was saying earlier. No, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Sydney. You were on a roll. Keep going.
No, you're totally fine. I was just saying, from what Vincent was saying earlier, it sounds like it's a little bit, the 14 turns that there are there, it looks like just seen from the overly tight turns. So we got to make sure that we're following a good line and keeping those corners tight when needed.
100%. And like you were saying, and piggyback that, with the tight corners, they have to use a lot of those side lanes to try and get around that corner, which means like timing it perfectly for the brakes before they enter the corner, and then hitting that apex to go out and hit that side edge a little bit. right there.
Right.
And they're not very long, so you got to pull it back in quite like on time. Did he
Right.
just pull up again? Oh, he's in P18.
Yep, he just passed and he just made another pretty clean pass.
Doesn't look like that car is happy about it, but he has passed.
Can see
No.
progress.
Did he just
Lewis?
get bumped? It looked like he got, oh, okay, and then he just takes it right back. Okay. That was-
Lewis was focusing too much on the car behind him.
Either that or the guy in front of him was just trying as hard as to try to go ahead and get in front by trying to offset or unsettle him going into the square left there at the bottom of the hill. I'm trying to get that corner.
But Lewis is a rock star on this track. Like, look how much space he's already put between him and that last car who's being a little aggressive there with the tailgating. We'll call him a pigtail, if you will.
That may as well.
Might as well. Pretty much
Pretty
attached. Oh no! All right, let's go, Lewis. That worked out in his favor. He's now P17.
That carousel section is probably one of the hardest parts of the track, despite it being relatively easy on the track map and in the spectator view. The track is actually not a symmetrical surface. There is a point in the track where you have to actually really let off the gas to navigate it, and some people will actually try to keep on the throttle in some capacity to try to go ahead and get through the corners as much as possible. And obviously, if they don't take that into consideration, they'll run blind and just completely spin out. I've done it several times in several class vehicles.
So it's not possible then to do that.
Not flat, no. You have to actually kind of let up on the corner at some point through that corner.
Lewis has moved up to P16. Great news. He's fast tracking back to his P2 position.
He's
it looks
slowly
like.
working his way back up to where he qualified.
The
Yeah.
question
Making
is
some
he
really
going
good
to be able to
progress.
catch up with those cars that are up in front? Because there's still about 25 minutes left to go in that race, maybe less than that.
Well, that green goblin car holding him up back there for a bit, for a stint. Probably definitely slowed his time down. Hopefully can he recover from that. He's pretty fast in the straights, and it looks like he's taking the care of the corners pretty good.
The curbs on this track are actually pretty flat, so it is actually pretty easy to get a little aggressive with them. I'm actually kind of thankful that it isn't raining on this track, because the rain on some of these curves is probably going to be very, very detrimental. So a number of these curves are almost, I guess you could consider them concave shapes, so the water does have a tendency to collect on the curves. That's part of the reason why around Sebring, when we were actually racing on that, we ended up trying to avoid the curves as much as possible because the car just kept getting so heavily unsettled.
Do you find that the water slows you down, or it just makes it slippery?
A little bit of both. The water on the track tends to collect in certain parts of the track. Now, obviously, we can't really see it here, but when the water does actually collect, you actually see it in like very shiny, very sort of, I guess you could say, smooth puddles. I guess you could say. And when you do hit them, there is the chance of hydroplaning, which can cause issues for grip, especially when it comes to, say, high-speed grip. Say, for instance, as Lewis is going, or Lewis and Miguel both are actually going down this big straight. Water will tend to collect, so going on the edges of the track, sometimes as almost like a river, if you will, crossing the track, making it very treacherous at high speed. Sometimes you will feel the grip suddenly go, and it'll just pull the car off to the side. I've had that happen a couple of times in other races, so
That would be terrifying in iRacing and real life.
Oh yes,
Yes.
100%.
Especially going 200 miles per hour.
Right.
These cars struggle to actually reach 170, but even then too, there are classic cars that can easily reach 200 miles an hour. I believe IndyCar actually runs this track. I'm not certain.
It looks like Lewis is running the same car he tried with the Nurburg ring, the BMW.
Yep.
I don't know what Miguel's driving.
He's on the same car.
Same car?
Same
Yeah.
car. Awesome. So we're about halfway through the race right now. We're on lap number 10, and Lewis is sitting at P60. He's made a little bit of progress. We're just hoping that he continues to make that progress. We can get him back up to hopefully in top 3.
Oh yeah.
Darren, hello. Welcome, welcome. Hi.
Now you're in the chat with whoever's driving right now. What are they talking about? How they feel?
You're being... Nick, can they hear you?
Yes.
Oh, good.
You gotta let us know this so that we're not
Yeah.
sitting here waiting,
Repeating what you say.
or repeating.
Lewis said he had a bit of a rough start to the race. I guess some dirty passes or something. I didn't see it, so.
I know it was pretty rough.
We were even talking about like some of the conditions that these other drivers are going to have to go through. Which, from what it looks like, Lewis is getting by some drivers in the pits.
P14.
I wonder if they're going in for tires or fuel or what they're doing. Because that's pretty early to go in the pits.
Maybe some damage?
It's hard to say. Could very well be.
Probably better to get it looked at now than later on in the race.
Right.
Oh, with
Well,
these sprint
that's why
races,
people's
typically if
opportunity.
you, well, I mean, typically if you go into the pits in these sprint races, it can sometimes be less of a gamble and more just sort of like throwing your hands up, saying, "Okay, I'm done," because a lot of times with iRacing, depending on how bad the impact is, that damage can take anywhere between seconds and minutes to repair. And obviously, if it takes minutes, you may as well just go ahead and say you're finishing quite low on the grid. I'm pretty certain Darren can even attest to that.
So I'm wondering why Darren, yourself, and Vincent, you're not in this race today. I know, Vincent, you just walked in the door.
Not much of a GT3 driver myself. I drive prototypes primarily, so
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
really prepped for this race.
So what is it about GT3s? I don't want to say that you're comfortable.
No, it's not that I dislike them. It's just it's a different driving style. There's a bit of a difference in the braking technique for those cars that run a little less downforce than the prototypes. So it's kind of a muscle memory thing. You got to switch over. It takes you a while to get back in that mode.
Okay.
Your experience, like the driving that you do with the car that you favor, when you do a race like this with a different vehicle, is there like an adjustment period? Does it take a while to get used to your car again after the car for so long?
Yeah, for sure. I'd say it's like, for me, it seems like about 30 to 40 laps on a track this size is about what it takes for me to kind of get back on pace with a different car when I'm switching between two completely different cars. But that's not that bad. You know, that's an afternoon of practice.
30 to 40 laps on Nurburg.
So that was quite the jump for our Lewis. He is now in P9. He's gone up about 4 spots in the positioning.
The question is, does he have the tires and the fuel to make it all the way? That's the bigger question. These cars in this series are not running a full fuel tank load like they would be in the Red Green 24 or like what we saw in Sebring. They're running what we refer to as a sprint load. So that's maybe about 2/3 to maybe half a tank of what the actual tank is.
And why are they running
Oh no.
oh no.
Good recovery, good recovery. Oh, that'll only cost him 1 position.
On the worst case scenario too.
That's probably the most common spot in the track to spin, that uphill left-hander. All the weight comes off the tires when you go over the hill.
Yeah, I was watching a video on this earlier, and going up the little nulls, it lifts the front end, so you tend to veer off a bit.
Yeah, it's difficult because you got to make the turn while cresting the hill. So when he goes over to the left there, but there's a second there where he's also turning, but he has like only half the weight of the car on the wheels. That's probably the most popular spot to spin.
Yeah, you definitely get that downforce.
He got a clean rejoin though. He got back on the track pretty easily. No problems.
Definitely. Yeah.
What did he
Only
lose,
cost him 1
place?
position.
He was able to
Yep.
recover really well on that. Right, right.
And cut off that other car. Good job.
I would argue that that same corner, that sort of issue that most drivers feel with that corner is exaggerated with some of the more difficult disciplines of cars, such as the prototypes or open wheel cars. Because keep in mind, these cars are the equivalent of like race spec production cars that you and I would drive on an everyday basis. That part of is why Darren is not a fan of these cars is because of the fact that they are so much more heavy and so much less aerodynamically sound versus, say, the prototypes that he enjoys. It's that added weight and that less aerodynamic benefit there, that less aerodynamic grip, if you want to call it that, that unfortunately these cars suffer from not having, and that's part of that sort of adjustment period is because the driver has to get used to that added weight and that lack of grip, I guess you could say.
It looks like
That was-
Lewis pulled in for a little quick pit stop, so we're getting back on the track.
Tires and fuel both from what I saw.
He's now in P20.
Tires on this track are a bit of a gamble. Depending on your racing style, if you do take tires, obviously it's going to be longer. In a lot of these, the cars are allowed to fuel and change tires at the same time, but for the most part, with these little miniature sprint races, which is part of the reason why they're not running that full fuel load. I understand one of you asked about that earlier. It means that there's the question of, do you go in for fuel only, or do you take tires and fuel? The harder these guys drive, the more the tires get worn out, and the hotter they run. Now, nope, and there he goes off the track again. Cold tires, which are probably going to be the antithesis of what he was feeling earlier, driving around the track before the pits. In these sprint races, you have the choice of taking tires or not taking tires. On this track, it tends to eat the tires a little bit more than usual. So, taking tires is never exactly a bad thing, but it takes longer to do so because you have to wait for the tire change to complete before you're able to sell versus if you're just taking fuel, you can be in the pits for maybe 30, 40 seconds, depending on how long the pit lane is, and be on your way without losing that much position.
So is it because of all the turns that it's eating up the tires more?
Quite literally, yeah. The faster the turn, the more the tires heat up. Usually you'll hear drivers talking about cold tires being a problem. Tire temperature is actually a very important thing when it comes to the racing cars. More so in the faster series, such as prototypes and F1. The colder the tire temperature, the less the grip. So that would obviously mean the warmer the temps, the more the grip. The downside is too hot a temperature, you start wearing down the tires faster and you start getting less grip anyways. So there's a fine balance drivers have to take.
That is interesting. But nobody wants to drive on hockey pucks either.
Nope.
Or baloney skins.
That's true. Looks like about 10 minutes left. Question is, can Lewis get past this yellow Ferrari as soon as possible?
Yeah, he's been playing with him a little bit.
I think this is a trade-off. These two have been neck and neck for the entire race. He's the one that was right on his butt earlier.
Right now I'm watching Miguel's stream and
Miguel is in
Yeah.
P16.
He went in for tires and fuel as well too. I saw that too.
Okay. At least in
Unfortunately,
BALCA, we
pit
ain't
stops
quitters.
No, we do not quit. Unfortunately, the pit stops, they do kind of tend to bring us back a little bit, but they are necessary.
Right.
Y'all doing over there, Darren?
Doing good. So, are you? So the BALCA Nick profile is the one doing the stream, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
just lost my streaming feed.
I did too.
Okay.
Same. I got Miguel on my screen here, but I do not have Lewis. It looks like, as of right now, Miguel is P16. He's on lap 14. His best lap on this track so far is 2 minutes and 8 seconds. To the head of about 3.
So-
3 seconds ahead of the person, or behind the person above him.
So, Vincent, is Sydney's voice breaking up for you too?
Yeah, it is.
It is. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Are you streaming OnlyFans at the same time?
I am attempting.
There you go.
Is it pretty bad?
Not right the second, no.
It was just back. It was just bad earlier. That's all.
Okay. I mean, as long as it gets better, I guess that's all that matters. Just remember,
And you're-
it's all trial and error.
You're frozen with a cat in front of you?
Yes. I am freezing a lot, which is kind of surprising because
And she's frozen.
we
So Lewis is now in P19. He passed the Lambo, which is wicked.
Oh yeah. And someone is very clearly off the track there. Wondering if they forgot what the brake pedal was.
Ah, but that worked in our favor. He's now in P18.
A little wide there, coming through that fast left-hander there. Looks like he's steadily gaining ground.
Yeah.
So, what is that? 7 minutes left before the end of the race. The question is, how far up can he claw his way back before the end of the race?
With this track being so small, it's interesting to see how, because during the Nurburg ring, you don't see that many cars in one shot with how close they are in this. Like,
Yeah.
he's seconds off the
They were-
ass end of that other car.
Oh yeah. Nurburgring is often referred to as the green hell for a reason, and well, the track is so big that at some point people actually start getting into rhythm, and they just start kind of getting into worlds of their own, I guess you could say. I'm trying to think of a better way to describe that. Darren would probably relate with that. They're doing sprint races on in some of the racing series of that, but yeah, at some point in the race, drivers are just going to be so far spread apart that you'd be lucky to actually see someone between when you lead or when the race starts and when you go into this.
Sprint races on the Nurburgring. I don't know why I'm having trouble saying that tonight. Is that what you were saying?
It's just for simple. Just keep it simple.
I do like
The,
simple.
Yeah, the official version of the track, or at least the version that's referred to as the Green Hell, is referred to as Nordschleife. I think is how you pronounce it. I'm not certain if I'm pronouncing it right, but we just
Probably
call
not,
it
because you need to
Nordschleife.
say it a little bit more angry. A little bit more. Definitely.
But yeah, no, we just call it Nords just to keep it simple. But for the most part, though, yeah, the track is just so big. You'd be lucky to see any drivers on the track there as you complete laps.
Yeah. That's what I mean. This one is so small. Like, I think Sydney said it's only 4 miles.
Mm-hmm.
That's tiny in comparison. Oh.
Oh wait, there it is. Yeah, no, I think the track is actually a little bit smaller. If I'm not mistaken. I think it's like closer to maybe 2.5, 3 miles of that. But yeah, no, it is actually a relatively small track in America. It's an amazing track to drive. I love driving it.
The Nords or this one?
This one.
Uh,
Nords is a difficult track to get into, but at some point you just sort of zone everything out and just focus focus on what's in front of you.
So, in your racing experience, which one is your favorite track?
For like being able to have fun, probably.
Yes. What did you say?
Probably Road Americas at this track.
Oh.
At least in my opinion. Otherwise, Norwich is a very technical, very challenging, very demanding track that gets its name just because of how difficult it is.
Ooh, Lewis was getting a little aggressive there, almost in the corner, passing on the inside.
He's steadily gaining ground.
He is on them. Now they're just holding him up.
I really don't know how the Ferrari drives. I get a feeling it's a little bit less stable compared to the BMW.
Now, why do you think that is? Because the wheelbase, or
Kind of more just the weight balance of the vehicle, because the BMW is rear-wheel drive front engine, while the Ferrari is mid-engine rear-wheel drive. So most of that weight is at the axle.
back? Yeah.
Yeah. So the Ferrari's definitely got a little bit more pep in its step out of the corners, but through the corner, I think the BMW actually has a little bit more stability and a little bit easier time handling it, even if it's a bit of a boat.
That makes sense, yeah. That probably doesn't help too when for the rear end weight going up those little nulls, because then it puts even more weight in the back and more lift in the front.
What are these two Ferraris doing? He just gained a position, but what's
P16.
that?
Look at that
that's good.
move.
E15.
Don't lose it.
that's
Don't.
spin.
Oh!
There we go.
And he's gonna
That
try
worked
for another
out.
pass.
And he
How
totally
he
cleared
managed
that.
to get out of that. Yeah.
That was
Oh
amazing.
no!
I don't know how he
He's-
stayed out of that wreckage.
That was
I don't
crazy.
know either, but either way, that's P15. Call it done.
He zigged and zagged his way out of that for sure.
Looks like Miguel's having a bit of a hard time there with the Porsche in front of him.
And what position is Miguel in? Can anyone see that?
Currently P14.
P14? Oh, so he's moved up 2 places since Nick checked in.
So far, so good.
P14. I don't think so, right? Lewis is in P15.
Lewis is in P15, and then Miguel is in P14.
What's Miguel's last name?
De Silva.
Silva. I believe. Okay, and Miguel just got sent on by a Lamborghini who's being threaded right in the middle between him and the Porsche.
You said Silva?
De Silva.
Oh, De Silva. Okay. There's a Silva on the grid as well.
Oh yeah, Jay Silva. That would be awesome if he was in 8th place.
Oh, right. They ended up in 2 different splits, didn't they?
Yeah, they have different iRacing.
Looks like this is going to be the final lap for both drivers here.
That's right.
Oh, and there goes Darren.
And he's back.
Yep.
Darren and Sydney both are having internet problems tonight.
No, I was just I was checking his position. I was trying to see his scoreboard.
And both drivers are on their final lap here, so this is going to be make or break for both of them.
It's a very action-packed race, though. Like with how close
yeah.
the cars are, how many corners there are.
Oh, and Miguel just went way too wide and got to slow down there. He just lost 2 positions. Oh. Yeah, he just lost both positions. That's one thing that kind of plays in with the number of these tracks here is what what the race control will allow for an acceptable racing line. Obviously, you don't want to be cheating, so the way they counter that is by forcing drivers to slow down that end up completely trying to cut the track or take unfair lines by gaining an advantage. A lot of us on BALCA have actually kind of talked about, okay, Miguel just very nearly took a driver out there. A lot of us here on BALCA have kind of spoken about this at length, and I'm pretty certain Darren has a bunch of rather interesting ideas to kind of help alleviate that problem. But obviously, the slowdowns can be a bit excessive at times. Just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So that is P14 for Lewis. Let's see what happens here for Miguel. Second might be ending up P15 from what I'm looking at here. Yep, looks like it. Definitely a tough race, but wasn't exactly too bad there.
That's not bad for Miguel. He didn't know this track until about half an hour before the race. Very well done.
I'd have to agree with that.
It's rewinding.
Yeah, that's Miguel doing that. Yeah, no, that was
One team.
Oh, hello. Welcome, Lewis. How do you feel about that race?
I'm annoyed I got that. That start killed me. I probably would have been, I don't know, top 6, top 5 maybe, if I hadn't have happened.
yeah.
It was a rough start, but you were slugging your way back up, but you had to pit.
Well,
Yeah, we all had to pit, but that one guy touched the grass and spun my back end in turn 1. That's what killed me. Hey ho.
Amazing how you pulled through that little wreckage there the last minute after you were pretty aggressive with that takeover.
Yeah, it was a spicy lap.
That was.
I'd had enough.
Oh, I didn't go up in safety rating because I'm maxed out, but I did go up +9 iRating.
There's
There you
another race
go.
in 5 minutes. We got 10 minutes. We want to do it. It's a 20-minute race.
Let's fucking go! Oh shit! It's
May as
fixed. though.
well.
It's fixed.
It don't matter. The fix is alright. It's not good. You'll be a bit slower, but like everyone has to deal with it, right?
Miguel, how do you feel about your race?
Mm.
He did pretty good for his first time on the track.
Man of many words,
I'll
very
say.
descriptive.
The BALCA monkey just grunts into the microphone.
Remind me never to hire him on as a spokesperson.
No doubt.
That was my first time ever on that track, so I was just kind of figuring out as I was going.
I'd say for what it's worth, he actually did a pretty decent job.
I've never done it, but it was.
Go again. Another one.
Keep that shit going. Run that back.
There's another one at 9 p.m. as well. Woo! Let's go. 20-minute gap between the races.
Back-to-back races, boys.
Now we cook.
Well done, gentlemen.
Hopefully, my commentary was quite nice for you guys. Wasn't
That
too
was
bad.
very helpful, Vincent.
We are still live.
Very
That
good.
I gathered.
Well, that's why we were trying to get a little bit of feedback from Lewis and Miguel. But
We got
yeah.
everything we needed from Miguel.
Hey, did we both come 14th? I think we did.
You ended up P15, or yeah, you actually ended up P15. Lewis ended up P14.
Oh, okay. That's hilarious.
So relatively close, but not exactly on point there.
Go again. I like this race. It's dirty and it pisses me off when I drive it.